Hey guys, what's going on? So in this video we will build our own rock paper scissors. Yes, the famous game of rock paper scissors using JavaScript. So I have a simple demo of that. You can just see it here. When I refresh the page, you can just see whenever I hover around this rock paper or scissor, you can just see the background color just goes, and you have your user score here, you have your computer score here, and when I click here you can see there is also some background music playing around here. And when I press this hand, I have lost the game. When I press scissor, it's a draw, like this. So are you excited to create this one? Because I am excited to create this one. So let me just go to the code and let me start from scratch. So first of all, what I want is I want my index.html. So I will go here and create my index.html file, and I also need my style.css. So style.css, and also I want my JavaScript file, so I can just do my JavaScript things. So script.js, and yeah, all the files are here. Now what we want is that now we want to create our index.html. So first we want to write our doc type HTML, then we can open our HTML tag. Then let's create our head tag. In the head tag we can just give our title of our page. We will do it later. This is all small things. So I open my head, then I can open my body tag. Okay, everything is open. So what I can do is that let me go to my files and open my, so let me just open this file in my Chrome. So index.html, yeah, so this is the blank page we are having. This is the already built one, so we are working on this blank page here. So we want to give any title for that, so I will just give rock paper scissor. So rock paper scissor, and let me save it. Now you can just see rock paper scissor here. Yeah, it's working. First thing we want is that we want this great game of rock paper scissor here. So before that, let us put the background image of this background image you can see. So let's do one thing. Let's go to our style. So first of all, let's import our style. So for importing your style, you can use from external styles. You can just use link, and you can just write rel, which means relative, equal to style sheet, and for the source we can give href equal to, we can give style.css, and we can close this link tag, and let me save it. Now I can go to my style.css, and in my style.css I can focus my body. So I focus my body, then I can write the background image further. So background image, let me zoom in a little bit so that you can see. Not this much, I guess. Yeah, I hope you can see the screen right now. So yeah, I put the background image. We can give the background image of, I have copied this code from this image from pixel. So if you want to use this picture, you can use this, or else you can use any other picture. So I will just paste that link here. So this is the image, so let me save it, and in the browser let me reload the page. Now you can just see the background image here, so it's working. So what is the next thing I want to put the background size as cover, because or else there will be some problem in the size and shape. So let me do one thing. Let me go here, let me close this one, we don't need this one, and let me write background size cover. And if I refresh it, you can just see it is like this. Or else we can do one thing, we don't want this background size cover because it looks more uglier than we think. So I have this image over here. So now let's build this, write this great rock paper scissor. So I can go to my file and index.html, and in my index.html I can just, in my body, write div, and inside my div I can just write h1, the great game of rock paper and scissor. So let me go here and let me refresh it here. Yeah, you can see the text here, but it is black and the background is also black. So we can do one thing, we can just go to my styles, and in my styles I can focus all the h1 tags and give it a color of, I see no, it's not black. I will give it a white color, so hashtag 111. So it's not a white. Oh, for white we have to do FFF, so my bad. So let me refresh. Now you can see the great game of rock paper scissors is there. So what can we do next? Now we want this user score and computer score here. So this is our UI. So if you want to make your UI more better, you can do that. I have made an ugliest UI, so I just cooperate with that. So color is white. I have to put it as text center, text align center, so that it will be at the center of our screen. So let me refresh it here. Now you can see the text is here. So now we can focus on creating these two scoreboard. So let's do one thing. Let me go to my code, and in my index.html, what can I do? So I can create a new div after this thing. So I can write div, and I can give it a class name of, no, I don't need a class name here. So inside that div I will create another div. So first div is for the user sport and another div is for the computer score. So I can just write scoreboard here, scoreboard. Then inside that I can write h1, and I can write user score. I can put a semicolon. So now we have our users kind of thing, and let me close this one. So I have my users kind of thing. So let me just close my this div. So I have closed my div. So I want another thing for my what? So I want this thing for my computer also. So I can just copy this code and I can delete this user to my computer. So if I go to my browser and let me refresh, now you can see user score and computer score. So we have to give it some style, so we can do that. So I will give you some inline style. What's going on? So I will give some inline style. So in this div I can do class and not class, I will do an inline style. So style equal to, what can we do? I will give a display of flex. So what display of flex will do is that it will make all the things in a line. So let me refresh. Now you can see everything is in a line. So the next thing I can do is that I can give the total width to be 90% of the view width. So width equal to, not equal to, semicolon, and I will give 90 of view width, and I want to make the things center. So I can do justify content and center. Now let me just reload it. You can see everything is in the center, and now we want to style our scoreboard. So let me go to style.css and let me focus that scoreboard, and in the scoreboard I have to give a display of flex. So display, I have to give it flex so that everything will be in a line. So align items, I will give it a center so that everything will be in the same line, same height, like that. So after that I have to give it a color of white. I will give white smoke, I don't know which color is that. Then I can give a background color of my choice. If you want to use blue, you can use blue, or if you love any color combination, you can just do that. You can see now two things here. I use some violet color, so just preference, you can choose your own color. So what can I do? I can just do a padding, so the space between that container will be more. So you can see that everything, this thing is just touching it. So if I do a padding of 5 pixel, you can just see there is a space. Now I don't want this thing as a single container, I want to make it different, so that I can give a margin of 15 pixel, I guess. Yeah, I don't know, it's 15 pixel. Yeah, it's working properly. So let me do one thing, let me give a padding of 12 pixel, like that, so that it will be padding of 15 pixel will be great. So padding of 15 pixel, yeah, I don't think it's so great. So let me give a border radius. So border radius of I will give a 15 pixel, or let me do one thing, let me just give 50%, so that it will be just like a circle. So 50%, let me refresh. Now you can see, oh no, man, it's very bad. So let me give a 20%. So let me refresh now. Yeah, it's almost okay, but yeah, no problem. I have done that. Now what can we do? Let me go here. I want 3 images, one for rock, one for hand, that is rock, one for scissor, that is fingers, 2 fingers, like that. So I have all the images set up here. So I will do one thing, I will just copy some images here. So if you want this image, you can just comment in the comment box and let me know. I will just send you the link. So I have my paper here. Now I want my rock here. So my rock is ready. Now I want my scissor here. So yeah, scissor is also ready. So what can we do? So let me go to my index.html, and now I want to show all this. What? Yeah, now I want to show all the images there. So I can go under this div. So let me close this thing, and I can put another div for our images, I mean image items. So I will give a div and a class name of, I will give container, I guess. Yes, not pointer, it's container. And let me delete this one and let me just save here. Okay, so in the container I want 3 images. So first image is image src equal to, I want which one? I want first one, I want rock. So let me save it and let me check if that's coming there. So let me refresh here. Yeah, now you can see this huge rock here, awesome. So let me go back to the code, and I want to style this one in the future, so I can do a class. So I will give a class of items. So I will be styling each of the items, like each of the rock, paper and scissor. So let me just copy paste this code for paper and scissor. So Ctrl V and another Ctrl V. So rock.png, and instead of this rock we want what? So I guess we want rock paper. Yeah, paper.png. Great. Then instead of this rock I want rock paper scissor. So I want scissor.png. So let me save it and let me refresh. Now you can see some huge images of rock, paper and scissor. Very awesome. So let me go to my code, and I have put a class of items so that I can just style it. So I will go to dot items and open this one, and for items I will give a width of, what width? So I will give a width of 325 pixel, I guess, and I will give a height of maybe 300 something. This is just random values, there is nothing here. So if you want to reduce the size, you can just reduce the size with that. So let me refresh here. Yeah, almost, yeah, it's okay, this thing is okay. So let me go to my this one, and I can give a background color of, I can give an Alice blue color. So in the thing, let me refresh. Now you can see this Alice blue color here. Alright, so what thing I can do? So I can give a padding of 5 pixel. Great. So, and also I can give a margin of, I guess, 15 pixel. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. So 15 pixel, let me refresh. Yeah, it's perfect. Then let me go here, and what I have to do, I have to give a box shadow because it will be just for a UA purpose. So box shadow, I will just do 15 pixel. So 15 pixel gray, I guess. So let me check what will happen if I give 15 pixel gray. So let me refresh. You can see nothing. Wow, pretty awesome. I can give another 15 pixel here. So 15 pixel and another 15 pixel, like this. Let me save it and let me refresh. Yeah, I don't see anything because I think this Alice blue color and this gray color is almost same. So just for, I will give a white color here, so background color will be white, and let me refresh. It is not showing anything. So what happened? So let's check that in the future. So which color do I have here? I have this gray little thing out here. No problem, this is also fine. So what next thing is that, let me go here. Now I want this background color to move and this image to rotate whenever I hover around these things. So for that I can just focus on here, and whenever I hover around that items, so items colon hover. So whenever I hover around that items, I want these styles. So I want to change the background color to, which color should I give? Background color to transparent, so that the color will be transparent. So when I hover, no, when I refresh and hover, you can see the background color is moving. So I know it is going so fast and it is pretty ugly. So for that we can do one thing, we can go to this items, and in the items I can give a transition property. So transition I can give a timing, so I will give, what will I give, so 0.5 seconds, and I can give is in out, I guess. So maybe, I don't know. So is in out. So let me just refresh it. Now you can see whenever I hover around those things, you can see the image is going. And the next thing is that when I hover, this image should rotate to right or left. So for that I can do one thing, I can go here and transform or transition. Yeah, I think it's transform. So transform, I can give a rotate, so I can give the angle of rotation, so I can give a 20 degree here. I don't know, 20 degree will be, let me refresh. Yeah, 20 degree is perfect. So what next? Let me go to my page. So user score, everything is done. So I want this thing to be little down, so for that I can do one thing. Where is my HTML index.html? I have given container. I can go to my style.css. So where is my container? So I have not given any styles for my container. So container. So the container is this thing over here. Where is the container? The images are inside this container. So that thing. So I am focusing that container. I will give a display of flex, and after that I will give a justify content of center, I guess, of course. Then I can give a position of relative. Then I can give it a total height of, where is this thing going, total height of, what can I give? I can give a 60 view height. So you can see nothing is happening because we have a position relative and we want to have an absolute parent, not an absolute parent, we want an absolute child. So item container. So let me do one thing, let me insert another div in here so that it will take 100% of everything. So another div, and I can give a class name. So class equal to, I can give a item underscore not plus plus underscore container. Let me save it and let me go to my style.css, and in my style.css I can just item underscore container. What can I do? I can do a position of relative. So position, not position relative, it should be position absolute. So position absolute and position relative. So if you have a parent element like any div which has a relative property and it has a child which has a absolute property, you can just position that absolute child anywhere inside that div. Okay, so I can give a position of absolute, I guess. I can, so position absolute, let me go here, let me refresh. Now you can see the position absolute is not anything, but what I can do is that I can make it in the bottom. So bottom, I can give it a 0. So I am in the bottom, so let me just refresh. Now you can see it's not working. We can do it in the next step. So let me do one thing, it's item container, not items container, my mistake, let me just delete that. And if I refresh, you can see something. So yeah, it is now somewhat in the downside. So what I can do is that this is the style almost okay. Yeah, the style is almost okay. So now let's focus on the JavaScript part. So before going to JavaScript part, I have to do one thing. In my index.html I have this image of rock, paper and scissor. So I want a reference to this images. So I will give an ID. So the first element, it will be a rock, and I will give an ID of 0. If you want to give an ID of rock, you can just give that, no problem. You can just do that. So I can give an ID of 1 for paper. I use this ID of 1 because 0 1, because if we are using rock paper scissors, so there is a condition like rock always cuts the scissor, scissor always cuts the rock and the paper always covers the rock. This is how point is distributed. So if you have if you want this kind of logical approach, you can do this, or if you have any other logical approach, you can just go for that. So I can give an ID of 2 for that, so ID equal to 2. So let me save it. So our HTML part is over. So this is our total HTML part, just a simple piece of code. So let me just zoom in. Now what we have to do is that we have to focus on our script part. So I have my script.js file, and for using my script.js file, I want to import that script.js file in my HTML file. So what I can do is that I can go to my board. Before my board, closing my body tag, I can write a script tag, and what can I do? I can give it a source. So source will be, I have my script.js file here. Let me refresh. Yeah, everything is working. So what I want to do next is that I have my script.js file. So let me do one thing. Let me just make sure that script.js file is working. So I have to do an alert of, what should I alert? So alert something like this. So let me just refresh. Yeah, my script tag is working because the script.io is coming here. So let me do one thing. Let me just delete this one. So the first thing is that we want our computer to select something. So whenever whenever the user clicks on any image, so you can go here. So when I click this one, computer will select one. So every time I click that image, the computer should click one thing. So we can just do with JavaScript for that. Yeah, so for computer selecting something, I can do a var, and I can do a computer selected equal to what can I give? I can just use math.random. So math.random. So what math.random will do is that it will just print any number between 0 and 1. So for your example or reference, let me just Ctrl+Shift+I. So it will open my inspect tab, and let me go here, and let me go to my console. So what math.random will do is that, so I hope you can see. So math.random, so if I call this function, it will give me a random string. So if I call this function again, it will give me another random string, like that. So next thing is that, so I will give math.random into 3, so that it will create into 3. So it will just create a number between 3 and 1. So you can see that it will create this number like this. So we don't want this decimal part. So for that we can use math.floor, I guess. Yeah, math.floor. I can give math.random into 3. So you can just see whenever I do this kind of thing, it is giving 0 1 or 2. So computer is always choosing 0 1 or 2 in this case. So let me close this thing, and let me use this logic there. So let me go here, math.random into 3. So into 3, and I have to put this in this thing, and I have to call math.floor. So what math.floor do is that it will just reduce it into its lowest integer number or its highest integer number according to the condition. So if I have 0.56, it will just make it to 1, and if I have 0.45, it will just make it to 0. I hope you got the idea. So we have our computer's logic written here. So what is the next logic? So before that, I can just declare two variables for our user score. So u score equal to user score, and c score equal to our computer score. So next thing is that we can create a function for our so we can create a function for our game. So I will call the function game, and do it like this. So when do we want this function to call? So what can I do is that whenever I click any one of this image, I should trigger a function so that I can do something. So on click, so whenever I click that image, I can just call a function. So I can just call game, and also we want to send an ID because our computer wants to know which one did I click. So I can just do one thing. I can just click game ID, not like this. I have to give this dot ID. So what this means that this is the current thing. Suppose I have written this on this, so suppose I have written this on this line. So this refers to this line. Okay, I hope you got that. And I can do one thing, I can just copy this code from here, and let me paste it here and also here. So whenever I click all of these images, we will get these IDs in our JavaScript. So where is my script.js? So I am clicking that ID, so I want that ID here, so I am getting that ID through this parameter. Okay. We don't want our computer selected to be only once, because if we do this one, only computer will select once. So for that we can just put that inside this function. So I have put that inside this function. And also I want a reference for our I want our reference for users ID. So where I can give user selected equal to, I can give what, I can give ID, not in semiquotes, I can give ID. So yeah, that's cool. Now we want our logic part. So what is the logic part? So the first logic part is if user selected equal to computer selected. So at that time we want the we want our computer to say, we want our program to say it is a draw match. So we can just console log, not console log, I can just do one thing, document dot get element, not computer side, get element ele, where is that thing, not where is that dot, document dot get element by ID, and under ID I have to focus the result. So I hope I don't created that result kind of thing. So let me just close this one. Where is that result? No, we have not make our result kind of thing. So where should be the result? So rock paper scissor title, yeah, the result should be here. So I can do one thing, I can create another h1 for our result. So we have that thing ready. Now we can go to our script.js. So if the user selected equal to computer selected, we can do a we can do a draw. We can just show something called draw. So I can focus the inner HTML, and inner HTML I want to just print draw. So let me just save it, and let me just check is everything going right. Yeah, you can see when I click this, you can see the draw is here. So it's working perfectly. Now what I want is the next logic condition. So let me just copy this, not copy, I will just say it again. So the next logic is that if user selected equal to 1 and if user and computer selected equal to, I guess, 2, that means, okay, just a minute, I will just comment something and write here. So rock is 0 and which one, rock paper is 1 and scissor is, I guess, 2, I guess, yeah, scissor is 2. So now our user has selected rock, so that means we are checking it for 0. So if user has selected 0, we are getting this user selected from this parameter. Okay, so if you just conditions, so I can just put and. So if user has selected a 0 and our computer has selected so our computer has selected paper, at that time we have to show that our computer has won the game. So for that I can just write document.getElement by inner HTML and our computer win the match. Okay, so let me do one thing, let me here you can see document.getElement by result and inner HTML computer wins, like that. So now there are many conditions, like if user selected rock and the computer selected the scissor, I can do user has selected the rock and the computer has selected scissor. At that time we want to show the user wins. So user wins, that's fine. So okay, now the users conditions for rock is completed. Now just let me do one thing, let me just copy paste this again and let me paste it here. Now our user is going to select paper. So when our user selected paper, the computer selected rock, user wins. Now whenever user selected whenever user selected paper and computer select scissor, at that time computer will win. So computer wins. Now we want that condition for when our user selects the scissor. So where is that thing? So yeah, when user selected scissor and let me just put a space. User selected this scissor and our computer selected this rock. We want to give computer wins. Now when our user selected this rock kind of thing and our computer has selected paper, at that time we have to give user wins. No, when our user selected scissor and when our computer selected paper, we have to give user wins, right? So just like that. So let me just go to the browser and let me refresh. When I click this rock, nothing happens. When I click this, nothing is happening. Wonderful. Is there any problem? Game is not defined. So let me go to my index.html. Where is my game? So in my index.html, I think there is some error. I hope it will work now. So let me go to my here and let me refresh. Yeah, error is there. So when I click this thing, yes, you can see user wins. When I click this is a row. So when I click this again, you can computer wins like this. So now what we want is we want to print our score. So like this, we want to print our score. So for that, we can just do one thing. We can go here and we have our view score and we score here. So it is now 0, but what do we want? Yeah, whenever user wins, we have to increment this one, and whenever the computer wins, we have to increment that thing by 1. So for that, whenever the computer wins, I have to give the plus c score, so which means that it will increment computer scores by 1. So whenever I have this computer wins, I have to put plus score. So plus score, computer wins, then I want this plus score. Okay, now whenever my user wins, I want to give plus to our dear user. So plus user score, and let me just copy here, and whenever user wins, we want our user to increment by score by 1, and here also. Okay, cool. Now we have only incremented, but we want to add this to our HTML. So for that, let me just copy paste this code, because this is as simple as it is. So document.getElement by user and computer. So I have to target this thing and give my c score and u score. So have I created this user and computer kind of thing? No, I have not created. So I can do one thing. So h1, I can give id equal to what id, computer score, and for user score I can give h1, and for that id equal to user. Did I do something wrong? It's computer and user, not computer score. So computer score, we don't want that thing. Let me close these images. So we don't want these images anymore. Okay, script.js, computer is small letter. So let me go here. Okay, so now when I refresh the page, and you can see the score 1-0 and computer scores, you can see this kind of thing, and we have completed the logic. And to make more interactivity, we can just add music. So I have already downloaded some files for the music, so I will just copy paste here. So if the user wins, we want to play this thing, and whenever the user clicks that any kind of images, we want to click do this click thing, and when the user loses, we want to give this lose. So let me go to my script.js. So I have to create an audio variable here. So where audio equal to new audio. So this is how you define your audio in your JavaScript. So I can do a click dot wave. So I want to put it in this kind of things like double quotes. Now you can see I have used this audio, so I have a reference. So audio dot play, and it is playing. So whenever I click this where is that, my index.html. So whenever I click these images, it should play this sound. Let me check if that working properly. So 3 2 1, yeah, working. That's cool and that's sick. So now the next thing is that when the user wins and when the computer wins, we have to play different sounds for that. So for that, we can just go to my script.js, and let me create these two variables for winning and losing. So because this is just obvious, and for winning I have win sound, and for losing I have this lose sound. So computer wins. So whenever my computer wins, I want to play this lose dot play. So I can save it here, and whenever my user wins, I want to do what? I want to do win.play, right? So win.play. Okay, perfect. Then user wins, we want to do this win.play. Let me copy this code and paste this code here. So when the user wins again, I want to do this here, and when the user loses, let me copy this code and copy where, yeah, when the computer wins, I have to do it here and here also. So let us, we are in the final stage of this thing. So when I click, you can see whenever I click this one and whenever we wins this one, we can hear these kind of things. So yeah, it's a draw, oh, like this, yeah, draw, yeah. So it is working perfectly, and I hope you enjoy this video and try to make this your own. And if you like this project and if you want me to create new projects like this, just subscribe to my channel and let me know in the comment box. So this is Adarsh Gupta signing off with this project.